too. You know I had to drop a track for my boy.
Where you at?
Yeah, been here harassing boys out here telling fables. I'm the hardest young nigga, I ain't signed to no label. Hey, Bruce Gas putting them fights on the table. Calling that boxing since Kane versus Abel. Nigga smoking so much gas, you would think that shit was fatal. I'm the people's champion like Muhammad Ali. Shout out Bruce Gas, one day we gon' meet. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, we gon' smoke with hella weed. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, take a hit out the Toka too. Slipping hella shots, feel like Tyson with the Pika. Little Glock by my side, but it hit just like Isaac Cruz. Shout out Mad Chad, real shit, that's my fucking dude. We always cooking on the panel. Strapped to my side, I ain't talking about no sandals. Bruce passed me the blunt, I'ma light it like a candle. Ayy, non-stop bars, man, I always spit flames. Feel like Bruce Gas always got a different strain. Bitch, you ain't like me, you can never feel my pain. You win and you lose, well, this the fight game. Don't beef on the net and the shit won't change. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the game. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the chat. I ain't undisputed. Yeah, hold on, I ain't undisputed, but I want all the straps.
Now with the release.
Salute. Salute and welcome. This is Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. This is a Monday night, the last day of July in the year 2023. I see my brother Terry Smoot Jr. Bro, thank you for coming in here, man. Absolutely, we love Kurtis Anderson. Let me cut this music down here. I'm just getting loosened up over here, bro. Just getting loosened up, man. Listening to the Aaron Johnson Publicity Jam session over at Smalls Jazz Club. It features Aaron Johnson on alto sax, Sasha Perry on the piano, Lala Lushtak on the guitar, Lorenzo Sardi on the bass, and Andy Watson on the drums. Just cut that down a little bit, man. I just wanted to have there we go, man. You know, jazz is too good to relegate it to background music, but I want to keep it. I want to keep it in the background here so it doesn't drown me out. Yeah, it is some killer stuff, Terry Smoot, and one thing about Kurtis Anderson, man, he loved his jazz. So we're definitely I'm gonna honor him today. I'm gonna hope some people come on here and we talk a little bit about him, share our memories of the man, the myth, the legend. I got look at this Toka too, man. My lovely one night stand of 33 years. Clean this up for me like a trooper. I got a nice hit of something called orange bud. I've had this for a couple of weeks. I don't smoke a lot. I more make my green dragon tincture. But this is a special occasion here. And Kurtis Anderson, man, you know, he it was a very, very, very difficult day, man. I'm not a good control man over here. I'm trying to keep my soundboard at its right things, but man, he had this way to ease. He made everybody in the room feel like they were his best friend, and he had such an insight in boxing. I remember listening to him. It was on a show one night, and they were talking about Alexis Arguello. And he was talking about some of the fights Arguello had in the late 70s and the 80s as a junior lightweight. He was talking about the Bobby Chacon fights and the Bazooka Limon. And then he mentioned a Filipino. He said Navarrete. I can't think of his name, and I typed Rolando. And all this, he goes, Bruce Gas In fact, I wasn't even calling myself Bruce Gas back then. It was still Bruce Goes. Because there's a guy that knows his boxing. And I said, you know, I'm listening to him and I'm saying, there's a guy that knows his boxing. And man, I'll tell you, he left an impression. He left a real strong impression on a lot of people. And it was, you know, this weekend we had the fantastic fight card. You know, we saw Errol Spence, Bud Crawford. We saw that the fight finally settled. And man, there must have been about a half dozen people mentioned. This would have been great for Kurtis Anderson to watch, man. I mean, he already broke this fight down. He broke this fight down years ago. Skywalker, my brother, salute, man. Thank you for coming by, my man. Peace. I'm gonna drop a link in a little bit, man. If anybody wants to speak on Kurtis Anderson, tell me some memories they've had of him. Tell me how he touched your lives, man, because he put a big imprint on my life. You know, he kind of before I had a YouTube channel, he used to tell me, man, you should get a channel. And I used to think this was only for professionals. You know, I didn't think anybody could just turn on fucking StreamYard and have a YouTube channel. He says, man, you got a lot to share out there. Even thinking about this cat, man, you know, I get very emotional. And I remember being at one of the last times that I spoke to him, because I never had his phone number. I used to communicate through him. I used to send him emails, and he'd get back to me, and I talked to him on panels, but I never talked to him one-on-one. I never had his number. And I was on Mad Chad's. Mad Chad was just kind of getting his show going at the time, about 2 years ago, and I didn't even have a channel. And me and Chad are on there. We did maybe 5 or 6 people in the chat. And all of a sudden, Kurtis Anderson, and he's sick right now. He's in the hospital. His diabetes is taking over. He's having a tough time staying alive. Never mind coming and gracing our show. And he came on there. The Bud Files, salute, peace. Thank you for coming by. He came on and he said, man, he says, Chad, you got a great channel. He said, this is one of the best new channels on YouTube. That's my hound dog up there. He doesn't know where. He doesn't know we're doing alive right now. It's probably, I got these squirrels that come in front of my house. And that's probably what's going on. It's probably man, he's making some crazy noises. There's probably a squirrel or something outside there. Oh, man. I don't know if you can hear what the sounds coming out of that dog, but there's some incredible sounds. And man, let me, you know, and Kurtis came on there, and he stayed on there for about an hour. It was just, it was incredible. It was an incredible conversation, and we ended it off. You know, Mad Chad being up in Maine, he has access to lobsters. We're talking about getting some lobsters and driving down to New Jersey and having a fucking lobster bake with the man, and he's all for it. And, you know, this was a few months before he passed away. And then on that, I'll never forget the day. It was February 2nd, 1922, man. 2022. I always say 19. I'm still a child of the 20th century. But yeah, man, it was a very, very tough pill to swallow. You kind of knew it, hearing his voice. You could feel the life that was leaving his body, his physical body. And you know, I got a phone call. From one of the cats I used to hang with. He used to be my friend. He told me about it. And man, I don't think I've gotten emotional and cried about someone that I didn't know, that I only knew from interaction on the computer. I mean, Ali had already passed away. I thought I'd gotten it out of my system, you know. But sometimes great people will do that to you. They'll move you like that. And him and Scrapbook, man, Scrapbook called this fight. Scrapbook called this fight like nobody I've ever seen call a fight before. It's like Ostradamus. I'm gonna stop the music for this one. I want to play his calling of this fight. See if we can get that. See if we can get that queued up here. Now, this is almost eerie the way that he called this fight. Check this out.
Crawford and Earl Spence Jr. I have Terrence Crawford defeating Earl Spence Jr., possible 9th round knockout or 10th round knockout. Earl Spence Jr.'s problem has always been he crosses his feet and he has problems transitioning from offense to defense. No one's going to see that. I see those things because I've been doing this a long time. Terrence Crawford is a two-fisted fighter, and you can't have those dilemmas with a two-fisted fighter. Both men could win the fight, but that's just my personal prediction. I wish both men nothing but success. I'm very happy that they got this fight going, and I'm very proud of both men. Either way, they're both Hall of Famers, and I'll be looking forward to the conversations when they both retire and become historical conversations. Shout out to Earl Spence Jr. and shout out to Terrence Crawford. Scrap of Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuff Series. All great fights, all great fighters. Will never be forgotten on my channel. Shout out to my brother, R.I.P. Kurtis Anderson.
Absolutely had to hear that one, man. Absolutely had to hear that one. Let me get back on my. Let me get the band off their break here, man. Get something going in the background. Get these guys. You know, one thing about live music is they take their breaks. And being a former musician, I know how important those breaks are. But back when I was doing it, you go in the back and have a smoke, chug down a couple of shots, get back up on that bandstand, and here we go, man. Aaron Johnson, Boplicity. What I want to do, I want to put the link in here. If anybody has any memories, if they'd like to share any memories of the late Kurtis Anderson, don't hesitate to click that. Don't hesitate to click that link. Man, it was I can remember so many different times where, you know, listening to him talk about fights and break fights down. Man, he was just an all around great man. You know, YouTube lost something special. They lost something special when they lost Kurtis Anderson. You know, he had a way of calming people, bringing people together. And he had a little temper on him too, man. I've seen people disrespect him in chat rooms, and man, he was not a man to be disrespected. And I'm sure this weekend would have meant a lot to Kurtis Anderson. I'm sure every day means a lot. Would have meant a lot to him because see, he was a born-again Christian. He was a very religious, very spiritual man. And he didn't press it. He didn't tell a lot of people this. He didn't press his faith, his religion. We just knew he loved his boxing. He loved his music and almost all sports. He could talk sports. He could talk soccer, basketball, football. You name it, man. This dude was a very, very all-around, very educated man. Just had the had a great way about him. How you doing, Josh? Salute, brother. Not this Sugar. Back and you look at my screen up there in the corner. That's Kurtis Anderson's picture. One of the few pictures that's available online. And he really, really loved his boxing, man. I mean, he would talk about any era. Bo Holifield's about excuse me. Bo Holyfield is about 25 years ago, wasn't it? 20 years ago, man. That was a great trilogy, especially the first fight. One that Kurtis Anderson also talks about, puts it in his great fights, man. That was an incredible test of wills. I think the size of Riddick Bowe won that fight. Holyfield was at his best in the second fight, the Fan Man fight. That was another historic event where they were beating the shit out of the Fan Man with the cell phones about the size of a brick. Salute Andrew Charles. How we doing, brother? Andrew Charles, you knew Kurtis Anderson, didn't you, brother? You spoke with him on some of these YouTube channels. You've been around for a while. You remember the impact that he made, and you know what a gap he left. You know, often imitated, never duplicated. Just an amazing boxing mind. Just an amazing person in general. Hey, Teddy, bro, thank you for coming by, man. I don't know if you remember the bro, but I'm here tonight just to talk about Kurtis Anderson. A lot of people mentioned him this past weekend, because this was probably one of the biggest fights we've had in a long time. You know, even though it was a one-sided affair, I don't hear anybody complaining about it, saying it was a waste of time. And it was you know, it was fantastic boxing. No fooling around, no kid stuff, no games. This was the real stuff. We had two exceptional boxers we've been waiting for a long time. We had to wait through the COVID period. We had to wait through these crazy negotiations. We had to listen to all these pretenders on there giving their expert opinions on how it was going to be a slaughter. I mean, it finally came to the pinnacle on Saturday night. Some people proven to be tsunamis. Some people proven to be soothsayers, seers into the future. Yeah, well, you know, this is why I never get emotionally invested in a fighter anymore. Maybe the last fighter I was emotionally invested in was Ali. Even Marvin Hagler, one of my favorite all-timers. I could see he was a human being, and he was going to run into trouble. He had to prepare for every match. And a lot of these people, they lose sense of that. You know, they fall for these fighters, man. You see it a lot on YouTube, bro. Macadocious Mac, my man, thank you for coming by. Always a pleasure to see you, man. Always giving me undue respect when I see you in chat rooms, brother. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you coming in here, man. I'm talking about the memories I had with the great Kurtis Anderson. And you know, it's funny because just talking about almost every fight that we used to go through over here on YouTube, he was always right there, man. Saturday nights after the fight was over, he was there. He was always on different panels talking about the fights before they happened. Who knows? I hate fucking fantasy fights anyway. I don't mind writing about them, having like a real short discussion, preferably in writing. But everybody has opinions, and it's one of those things where, once again, we run into these so-called fanboys that with a fantasy fight, and their fight is not going to lose. It would have been a great fight, man. Jack Johnson and Mike Tyson, but who knows? Different times, different eras, different gloves. different everything. They wore mouthpieces when Mike Tyson was fighting. Um, as much as we'd love to get in that time machine and see these fights all over again, it would be great, man. Maybe when we die and go to heaven, man. Maybe they're having some closed circuit, private views only matches up there, and we can see these. We can see some of these fights, but until then, computer fights. Those are fun. See, I'm not even that technology evolved yet. Where I've never had one of these PSP4s, whatever the hell they're called, the internet boxing. I watch them sometimes. I'm saying, wow, this is cool, man. You can actually put Jack Johnson and Rocky Marciano or Mike Tyson or whoever it may be in one of these fights. So, yeah, Liston and Jack Johnson, man. Whew, you can only imagine. But that's why it's so cool to Xavier, the boxing nerd. How we doing, brother? You didn't watch the fight the other night, Xavier, man? I'm sure it's all over YouTube, man. You can probably find it somewhere on the internet right now. Morrison's left hook. Do I consider it one of the 20 greatest punches in history? No, I don't know, bro. I never really thought about the 20 greatest punches in history. Morrison had a great left hook, but I mean, we're talking about the great left hookers like Joe Frazier, even Jerry Cooney. Jerry Cooney had a devastating. Morrison had a great left hook too. It was something. I certainly wouldn't want to have to judge how strong it was, but it was a great left hook, man. One of the top greatest in the history of boxing, man. See, that's something that you can do that with your own history of boxing. I can't do it. Yeah, man. Curtis knew how great Crawford was. He maybe not this particular fight, but he knew Crawford was going to be a great one. He predicted this. He predicted the Crawford beating Spence years ago, man. He knew this fight was going to happen. Boxing's a different world right now. They don't rush fights. I mean, today, I hope everybody goes to see the thing that I put out there, on this day, on my community page daily. Because I've been doing that since last September. I haven't missed a day, and it's not as easy. And I don't cut and paste. I go out and I look for these things, and I use my own antidotes, and I write a little paragraph, and that's not that easy, bro. Hey, Conor Loco, how we doing, brother? And today was one of those days. We're talking about classic fighters. Alexis Arguello in 1982, he fought Kevin Rooney. And anybody who doesn't know who Kevin Rooney is, that was the trainer of Mike Tyson once Cus D'Amato stepped down. And I mean, it was almost like a clash of professions. One fighter would excel in one thing, one fighter moving on. This was the fight before the great Aaron Pryor fight. Arguello was on a 16-fight winning streak. But anyway, man, all this stuff fits in. And when I do this, bro, I think about Curtis Anderson every time I do it. And I always say, man, I wonder if he's seeing these. I wonder if he's seeing these on this day posts. Because there's so many great things that happens in boxing, and it's the historians, man. They give you the will to do this. I have a good memory. I have a good memory of boxing only. Today, I forget. Hey, my brother D-Ray, how we doing, bro? But my mind today isn't as sharp as it was years ago. I can remember fighters. I can remember the fucking top 20 bantamweights in 1980, where I couldn't name the top 5 bantamweights today. And I watched them a million times. I watch every fight I can possibly see live on the internet. And I mean, and boxing is treated to some great stuff. This year especially, I don't know what happened. I'm sure if we talk to one of the powers that be, we can find out there's got to be a reason for it. But we're getting fights now. It's almost like the 15th round, and the trainer's saying, "Man, you got to go out there. You got to sell it, bro. You got everything. You got to blow your wad." I mean, dude, look at the fights that are happening. Nobody's even talking about this weekend. This weekend coming up, Jake Paul and Nate Diaz. Yeah, big deal. But Jake Paul, he's bringing eyes to boxing, and that's cool, man. Amanda Serrano's on that fight. If you're into women's boxing, you can check that out. And nobody's even talking about the Islandi Laura and the Danny Garcia fight. And that fight, man, see that's Islanda Laura is the official 160-pound middleweight champ of the WBA since Triple G gave it up. He was evaluated to that title. And Danny Garcia is challenging for that title at 155 pounds, man. That is, to me, that sucks big time. That's not a middle. Can you imagine Marvin Hagler having to go down to 155 to defend his title? We wouldn't have taken that, man. That would not have been acceptable. Kurtis would have never let that happen. I mean, I'm sure he would have a lot to say about hydration today. And hydration is a strange thing, man. You know, I have a background in nutrition. I know what hydration is. You're taking the muscle out of your you're taking the water out of the muscles of your body. Water is hard to extract from fat on a quick basis. So you're doing a really injustice to your body, and they're doing that. It seems with every fight today. These fighters are demanding. They're demanding catch weights. My brother Nick M's Classic Boxing Channel, man. How are you, bro? Some great content, man. Great content out there, bro. You put some good fights out today. Always. Anybody out here, you want to catch some great boxing. I think I saw Alfredo Evangelista a couple of fights this week, man. Alfredo Evangelista. He was a kind of a favorite back in the 70s, man. You know, I saw him fight Ali, and then Ali went 15 rounds with him, I believe. And then we saw him fight Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes took him on. I think Larry just jabbed the hell out of him. He was a big, tough Spaniard, but he was the best that Europe had to offer at the time. And you know, it wasn't an international. It wasn't so international like it is now, where we had the television coverage. And Alfredo Evangelista, being a big European white heavyweight, he had a lot of fights in there. He had the Leon Spinks fight on there. And shout out to Nick M's Classic Boxing Channel, man. Anybody wants to see some good fights, knock their boxing IQ up a couple of points. Yeah, I don't know if Curtis Anderson ever went to your channel, Nick M, but Curtis Anderson would have been a fucking regular sub to that, bro. I hate to speak for somebody, but I can guarantee that he would have been on your channel a lot, man. You got some great fights there, and you know, he did, man. He did. I'm sure if we went through his resume, we'd find a lot more, because just the fact that he fighting Ali, going 15 rounds with Ali, will put you in a whole different class of boxers. But interesting stuff, real interesting stuff. And if anybody does have any memories of my brother Kurtis, man, I think I got the StreamYard click in the taskbar up there. And doing that hit on this Toka 2. See, I'm in this climate up here. It's 76 out today. Today it was about 80 today. It's on that verge. Do we put the air conditioners on or don't we? And I live on the water. I got a nice view. In fact, I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna see if it's light enough where I can do this. Let's see if I can find it here. Bear with me, my friends. Bear with me. Yeah, here it is, man. Let's see if I can do this all right. There it is. You check this out, man. This is out my bedroom window right now. So I get a nice sea breeze coming in. Not my bedroom, my living room. Hey, Charles D, my man. Shout out to you, bro. Peace. But this is one of the gifts that God gave me. I see the sunrise every day from this view. I watch boats go by. When God's mad out there, I get some waves that come crashing against my window. But it's very cool that we can do this. See, This is a camera that's got two lenses. See if I see if the other lens is on there. Yeah, see, this is the other lens. This is the other side. Kind of, my neighbors have a dock in there. They let me use it. I think they're a bunch of assholes, but I hope they're not. I don't think they're YouTubers, but anyway, this is kind of what I look at when I'm on here. In the front yard, I usually have a lot of birds and squirrels and stuff like that. I think they're kind of almost going to bed now. It's about 7:30, but they're here early. Early birds. Nelly Content, my brother. Thank you so much for coming by, man. Well, hey, you know, they only come down here for the summer. And last week, my old lady I think she was cutting some bushes on the fence. She was out there trimming them, and they bring down about 3 dogs when they come down, and she was petting one of the dogs, and one of the other one bit her, and I told the lady, bro, yeah, people with more brains than money, more money than brains. I'm sorry. You know, I mean, dude, the car they drive is worth as much as my house is. You know, it's one of those kind of freaking situations. But she didn't even call to check on how my wife was, you know, getting bit by the dog. Nothing serious, but you know, and they're all lawyers too. You figure you'd want to, you know, show some concern. I don't know. Maybe you're not supposed to show some concern. I don't know, but that's one of the cool views that I have. And hey, it is what it is, man. Let me do another hit on here. Speak a little more about my brother Kurtis Anderson, a little bit about the state of boxing. Always stay hydrated too, man. Number one key, a lot of water. And this is my cup from the Blood Boxing sent me. My sister Fistiana made it. Custom, Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. And then, man, the man we're talking about, look, he's built right into the cup, the tumbler. Shout out Random Acoustic Thoughts, man. Fistiana cups, you know it, Teddy, man. They're the hottest thing on YouTube, the hardest thing to get, but the hottest commodity on there. Tim Witherspoon's got one. I got one. Blood's got one. I think Marlon Stalling might have one on the way. But they're priceless. 20 ounces. I fill them with water I fill mine with water at least 4 times a day. I try to get a gallon in if I can, man. Thank you for coming by, Random Acoustic Thoughts. A pleasure to see you over here, brother. We're talking about Kurtis Anderson, man. He would be on your show. I've never seen him on your show before, but you're a new historian in the game. You're fitting well with these OGs, man. I watch you a lot, man, with Scrapbook and with BL. And you dudes, man, you don't realize how important that is to boxing when you start talking about the classic stuff. And you know what I noticed about Kurtis, man? Kurtis never talked down to people. He never made you feel like he was superior and he was teaching you something. You know, this is something we can all learn, because a lot of us have little expertise at different things, man. Back the asshole professional liars. Whatever that means, Teddy, I'm with you, bro. Digging on this jazz in the background too. Let me go check on that one more time. Let me see how that's making out here, man. Check that out, man. Aaron Johnson on that alto sax. You got the tenor sax there, man. like a Ilya Lushtak on guitar. The little Grant Green, George Benson picking up there. Maybe a Hank Mobley kind of sax in there. This is some classic jazz played by some young kids today. I say young kids, man, 40-year-old men. But it's let me bring it down in the background here. That's Small's Jazz Club. I always check that channel out. Tim Zoo, how we doing, my brother? Ill Status Boxing, man. Shout out to you, bro. He would have enjoyed that fight, man. Kurtis was another one where him and I talked about emotional ties to boxers, and that's just that. Boxers they'll break your heart every time, man. You watch them as what they are, you love them as what they are, but don't give your fucking heart and emotion to a fighter. Look what's happening now on YouTube, man. All these cats. It was Ride or Die, Errol Spence, dude. We saw it with Deontay Wilder a year ago, year and a half, however long it's been. We see it all the time. Don't invest your emotions with a fighter. Enjoy boxing for what it is. I was watching and I was so surprised when I saw what happened. I didn't believe Spence was going to get beat that soundly and that quickly. But man, I said it right from the beginning. I said I think it's going to come down to the look at the eyes of Bud Crawford. He's sharp. He's on game. He knows what's happening. You looked at Bud. Bud looked like he just smoked a half a dozen off the Toka 2, man. And as much as I love the Toka 2, and as much as I love smoking the Bud, that's not the way you prepare for the greatest fight of your career. You have to go to Siberia with Rocky. I mean, Bud went from his normal gym, his training camp. He went to the mountains in Colorado to get to the high altitudes, to get away from all the people who already thought he was thinking he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. They're gonna have the Bud Crawford Day up in Omaha, Nebraska, and they're gonna have if they don't already have the Bud Crawford Boulevard. But I'll tell you, man, I don't care what city it is. If your car breaks down on Martin Luther King Boulevard, you're fucked. Who's this on drums, man? This is a fantastic drum solo. I used to play the drums myself. We've got Andy Watson on drums. An Art Blakey style. Yeah. But I mean, the whole card to me was interesting right from the beginning, man. The first match of the night on the pay-per-view portion of the card, man. Benito Donaire, my friend the Skywalker, he was waiting for Benito Donaire to win his bantamweight title, break the odds, break the record. This dude, he took on Alejandro Santiago. I think they said his family had hot dog stands in Tijuana. So You know, we saw one fighter who came from obscurity to win a world title, who had several defeats on his record, to a fighter 40 years old, a guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer who's got dozens of championship belts. But Father Time, nobody escapes that, man. Nobody beats the clock. 40-year-old bantamweight. This is why bantamweights retire young. And this is why that a 40-year-old bantamweight was a big thing. Remember Juan Manuel Marquez? He was a super lightweight. He was 39 years old, and that was people saying, "How's he still doing this?" And I've seen so many fighters who stayed too long at the game. I hope Errol Spence isn't one of them, man. I hope Errol Spence isn't one of them, because that beating he took, very, very, very. Oh, that was a harsh way to go. The referee could have stopped that fight earlier, and we let it go on. And that was I would rather have seen a clean knockout. That prolonged beating, man. It's like every exchange they had, Bud Crawford would end it with that right hook or that right uppercut or that overhand left. I mean, Errol Spence had no defense for that, and it was but I regress, man. I was going back to Nonito Donaire losing in his attempt to become the oldest, a record that he already has, the oldest bantamweight champion, going to the oldest WBC bantamweight championship. And I think he proved that it's eventually, man. Eventually, enjoy your retirement. Hey, Monty Brown, brother, shout out to you, man. Hey, Monty Brown, we're talking about Kurtis Anderson. You want to share any of your thoughts on him? Anybody else out there, man? Because this is why I'm here tonight. Everybody and their brothers talking about Errol Spence and Bud Crawford. I'm kind of talked to where I'm almost full of it. I'll still talk about it again, but I want to honor Kurtis Anderson, man. I want to hear some people sharing stories. And Monty Brown, one of the times I remember Kurtis Anderson was on your show. I think it was on Christmas Eve, and there was some black and white bullshit going on there. I don't remember exactly what was happening, but I was in there, and Kurtis Anderson said something. He says, "And you guys, man, you all love Bruce Gass, and Bruce Gass is a white guy, and a lot of people didn't know that. I don't think anybody knew that." And Bruce Gass is a white guy. It was fucking funny. But Kurtis Anderson, that's the kind of guy he was, man. He didn't bother with black and white shit, man. If it was wrong, it was wrong. Hating somebody because of their color is just fucking wrong. And Kurtis was like that, bro. Kurtis was a true gentleman in every sense of the word, man. I got my brother Monty Brown coming up here to say hello to me. Monty, how you doing, my brother?
Man, the OG Bruce, how you doing, OG? How you feeling today?
Monty, I'm feeling excellent today, man. And I had this yearning to come on here and talk about Kurtis Anderson, bro. And man, he was a great friend of yours. Tell me a little bit about Kurtis Anderson, brother.
Man, Kurt is just one of them guys, man. Like he's just a special individual, first and foremost. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to him. And I pray that his family is doing well, coping without him, but knowing that he's still, in their spirits. But the many memories that they shared with him, because I know they got many memories. The way he spoke this boxing game, right? He was just one of us, Bruce. He's one of the guys. He loved the sport of boxing. Never afraid to share his knowledge with nobody. If you reach out, Kurt will reach back. If you ask him a question, he'll give you a straight answer. You know what I mean? And it's just like he just one of them special guys, man, that you hate to lose so early, but that he's in a good place and he's resting. And and thanks to people like you, man, keeping this memory alive, because you keep that picture up there with Kurt, and you always. Like, this the only time where I see we speaking about Kurtis when I come to your panel. And it's wrong, but you keeping his memory alive, man, and I can respect that. So I say, let me come on up with the OG Bruce and give a few words, man, because it's most definitely needed.
For sure, bro, for sure. And and especially this weekend, I think he would have enjoyed this weekend, man. I would have loved to hear the way he built the fight up. I would have loved to hear him talk about you know he would have predicted it. He would have predicted every fight right on, bro. He had that special gift.
That's right. That's right, man. Just, you know, this weekend was a special week, right? Didn't go the way that some of us wanted it to go, but at the end of the day, it's boxing. So, whenever you get the big fights like this, Kurt loved it. You know what I mean? He loved it. He talked about all the big fights that he was at, the big names. He give us spot on information of what happened in that time, around the fight, in the fight, the build up to the fight, the fighters. Like, you got to be a special person, man, to remember so much about the sport and can give it to you like it was yesterday. You know what I mean? Kirk can give us a fight that happened back in the days like it just happened Saturday, Bruce. You know what I mean? We all know that's like, he'll break it down to us. We'll be like, damn, Kirk, you just took us back to 1973. And it's like we were just sitting right there with you, man. I'm talking about it was a special thing for him, man. It was a special thing. But this past weekend, two great warriors went in there. One came out victorious. You know, a lot of people down on Earl, trying to get down on Earl and things of that nature, right? Was a one-sided fight going towards Bud Way. Got to get credit where credit is due. There's no way you can sit up here and not get credit where credit is due. That's why I told Bo Mac, I'd never be that guy that would be a shame to bow in front of greatness. Never. And one thing I say, Bruce, never cheat yourself out of greatness. You know what I mean? You can go back and forth with the people all day long. You feel me? But understand what's really going on. You know what I mean? If you can stand the moment and relish the moment, and as long as you know in your heart, you know what it is. You don't owe nobody no answer. But this past weekend was a special weekend, and Kurt would have enjoyed it like we all enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Like I say, the ones who was riding for Spence, it didn't go our way, right? But the ones who was riding for Bud, they got a clean victory over a real Hall of Fame caliber fighter, Earl Spence. And all we can do is tip our hat and we move forward. If they can do part two at 54, we'll see what happened there. If not, they go on their separate ways, and we wish them both the best.
That's the way it goes, bro. Boxing lives on. We got some great fights down the road. Nobody's even talking about Esme Lara and Danny Garcia this weekend at a catchweight. I can't believe that they're making Esme Lara defend his title at 155. Has that ever happened in the middleweight division, Monty?
Canelo now fought. Remember Canelo and Cotto? They fought at 55, and I think it was another fight where they came down to 55 and they fought for the middleweight title. So it's happened before. I say this though, Bruce. Whenever you agree to something in the contract, once you sign it, ain't no excuses. You know what I mean? But I guess they say since it's a catch weight, because Danny ain't the biggest guy in the world, and even Lara. Even though Lara started at 54, he moved up to 60. I think he even had a fight at 68, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere above 160, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But he agreed to it. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be a good scrap. We got two solid world-class fighters. In their prime, no, but still damn good. You know what I mean? It's still gonna give us something that we can enjoy. So I'm looking forward to it, man. And with the fight happening with Earl and Bud and the way it went, you know what I mean, for it to be on that level like that, OG, people they go relish this moment, man. It's gonna be a moment they relish for a minute. So it comes to the territory, but like you say, we still should get credit to the fights that's coming up. You know what I'm saying? And let them know that we do care about them as well.
For sure. This is almost like I had a fix this weekend. This weekend they almost OD'd me. I had a blast that fucking blew my brains out, and I'm coming down. The Laura and hang on 1 second. Let me see who's calling me.
Okay.
Marlon Starling. Let me take this call.
Okay.
You know Marlon Starling?
Marlon Starling. Name's happening.
Salute my brother Marlon. I'm online right now. What's up? Marlon, hang on. Marlon, you there? Hey, listen, bro. Let me call you back, all right? Okay, cool. Yeah, man. Marlon, that's Marlon Starling, man. That's the man who knocked out Mark Breland
Yes,
Two-time,
yes,
two-time welterweight champ, bro.
yes, yes. I knew that name sounded familiar.
Let
I knew
me
that
let
name
me
sounded familiar.
let me call him up, man. I'm gonna get him online here and see what's up, because I'm helping him out with his auto. He's got autographed pictures, you know, and
Okay,
I'm helping him out. I'm helping him out sell them, and we're trying to make him a little bit of money, because these guys, people don't realize, these guys they don't have the breaks these boxers have today. They didn't know how to invest their money,
that's right.
and a lot of these guys are they're living government handouts. You know, it's almost sad, but hey, if we can do something to help these guys, then I want to be part of it.
That's right. That's right. How much you selling them for, Bruce?
$25 personally autographed. Hey, Ron, how we doing, man? Hang on a second. I want to talk to a legend over here.
Your call has been forwarded
Oh,
to an
no.
automatic voice system. 860-424-1448.
All right, well, I'll call him up after the show. But anyway, man, that's my friend Marlon Stallings, two-time welterweight champ of the world. Great guy,
Uh,
Monty. If you want to get an autographed picture by him, you want to help him out, that would be great, man.
yeah, put me down, Bruce. Put me down. Yes, sir.
Absolutely,
I
man.
most definitely will. Always willing to help out. The pioneers that paved the way for what we love today. You understand? And we do know about what happened back in them days, with with the situation on how they get screwed over, man. You know what I'm saying? They get screwed over. So for sure, put me down, Bruce. Put me down in the books.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
He just sent me his email to send the addresses to. So not a problem, man. I'll put one down for you, Monty Brown.
Just send me.
I'll drop my number in the private chat. Just give me a text, so that way we'll be locked in. And
Okay, drop your number real fast. That way I can put it in my phone, and I'm gonna say a few words on you as well, Bruce, and then I'm gonna get up out of it because I got to make a few videos. But I'm gonna say this: there's a lot of people around here that talk down on Bruce Gas' name for no fucking reason, right? And I'm sorry to cuss. This is one of the OGs, man. One of the coolest people on YouTube. I mean, I never seen Bruce talk bad about nobody. Nobody. This man deserves to be in whatever chat that he want to go to. This is a boxing aficionado to where this man loves the sport of boxing. If you're talking boxing, he'll show up and he'll support your channel. So by him supporting channels, and cats don't like certain people and they seeing this man, you know what I'm saying, waking up, living his life, right? Because we all wake up, we all got the same, 24 hours in a day, but we all got our separate lives, man. Bruce lived longer than a lot of us. You feel me? Try to get to his fucking age before you try to talk about him. You understand? He don't owe nobody shit. None of you. Nobody at all. He got his own channel where he can sit right here and speak his mind how he want to speak his mind, bro. He got the right to do what he want to do. Like I say, Bruce, keep it real. This man showing love to Curtis Anderson, bro. And this is not no, oh man, let me just wake up. No, that picture of Kurt stay on Bruce's page. You know what I mean? And every time I go to other people's pages, even people that's supposed to be close to him. You know what I'm saying? But Bruce grew up Kurt, man, to the utmost, and I'm gonna always respect that. I'm gonna always respect you, Bruce, for just being you and not falling into the bull crap and just staying you, bro. You know what I mean? That you wake up and you live your life the way you want to live your life, and you've been doing that for 70 plus years now, right, Bruce?
68,
70
Monty.
plus.
68.
68. Well, I apologize. We gonna make it to 70 plus.
You're
Got
a
you.
legend, Bruce.
But
You're a
60,
legend.
68 now, right?
Yes,
Man,
sir.
can't nobody tell you nothing. If anything, they need to sit back, listen, and learn something. You know what I mean?
You know,
I say this all the time, Bruce. They take this shit too personal, man. Like, this is the boxing game. I speak on boxing. I don't try to get into people's personal lives, this, that, and third. Unless you disrespect me, I'm gonna shoot it back. But for us, the fight game, bro, we supposed to love the fight game, respect the fight game. You can have your favorite fighter, you can talk your ish, but don't take it personal, man. You know what I mean? When the build up is here, ride for your fighter. When it's over with, whatever the outcome is, you salute that warrior, right? If it happened again, it happened again, but you salute that warrior and you move on, bro. But you don't make it a personal thing. You know what I mean? And a lot of these dudes, they make it personal, and that's why I can't rock with a lot of these dudes, man. But Bruce, I got nothing but the utmost respect for you, OG. Anytime you need me, I'm here. And yeah, I'm gonna take your number down because I most definitely want to support the OG.
For sure, man. My number's in the chat. I didn't even know how to put it in the private chat, so I just dropped it in the regular chat. But
Okay,
Brian, I appreciate that, man. I don't let any of this shit bother me, man. You know, because I come from the fucking school where you ain't gonna please everybody. There's gonna
that's
be some
right.
people that don't like your shit, and you know, a lot of these cats they get a little bit of courage because they're behind keyboards, so they like to throw some mean words out there. But bro, it doesn't fucking bother me, Monty Brown. This is fun to me. If everybody liked me, I don't think I'd be happy. So this is you know, it's almost like, you know, we sort the wheat from the chaff. I hang with the real cats out here. Whenever I see you live, I always go on there. I always give a thumbs up. I like to shout you out. I like to listen to you because you know your boxing, Monty Brown.
That's
You
right.
got your fighters, but bro, when it comes right down to it, this is a sport, and we can like and love who we want to, and these cats, you want to fucking hate who you want to. I'm not gonna lose a second sleep out of that, brother.
That's right, Bruce. That's right. And that's why I rock with you. And I can tell you do your thing, how you been doing your thing, and don't nothing change.
Thank you for coming by, Monty Brown.
No doubt. Stay being you, and I'm gonna give you a call, you know, so we can work that out.
For sure.
Okay.
Hey, shout out Ron Finkley. What's happening, my brother?
What's good, man? How you doing today, Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more?
Bro, I'm doing fine, man. It's a beautiful day. I got a lady that loves me. I got a dog who's afraid of me. Man, it's like fucking life is good, you know?
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Yeah, I was glad when I saw that you had the paying homage to Curtis Anderson boxing knowledge, because that's what I call him.
Oh,
That was a good brother, man.
I got Ontario. Hang on a second, Ron. Yes. Hey, Teddy, man, how you doing, bro? Hey, listen, bro, I'm online right now. I'm on the show right now, bro. I got you locked in, brother. Get back in my chat. You want to come talk? Click the link and come on up here. All right, brother.
Yeah, you know,
All right,
you know.
Go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I kind of like came across Curtis Anderson like when I came across Blue Blood Sports TV, man. You know, I was probably like Blue Blood's like first original, because when he first started doing interviews, like he used to ride the cheese bus, and he used to, a medical bus or whatever he used to ride. But he started videos. I was like his 50th subscriber, but Curtis Anderson was in the chat, and it's like I just kind of liked it what Blue Blood was doing for the sport, and then I kind of ran into Curtis Anderson, man, and that dude was like a breath of fresh air. Like, you know how you just can talk boxing with somebody and you swear you know everything, but then you run into somebody who know way more than you, and that was Curtis Anderson boxing knowledge. That's why I used to call him that.
and he never shoved it in your face either.
No, he'd talk to you like Monty Brown TV said. Like, he would talk to you, like even offline. He would talk to you if you needed to. Like, I just always thought he was very transparent, and he was just a boxing enthusiast. You see what I'm saying? Because that's where I get it from. Like, I feel like he's like a boxing enthusiast. He's someone who just kind of just remember everything from the very, very, very beginning, from when he was a kid. And it's like, that's what I didn't know. You know, I didn't know boxing until I was like 17 or 18. But this guy knew boxing from the day he was born. What I got out of it, you know.
Uncle Raphael and his father, Curtis Lee. I mean, he would tell you those stories where they were going to fights when he was 12 years old.
Exactly.
Just fucking unbelievable, Ron. I know just what you're talking about, man. And you know, whenever you talk to him too, he'd always give you the impression that he picked up something from you too. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah, because I used to tell him about, because I'm from Atlantic City, and I think Curtis was from like he was from like a part of Jersey. I think it was Camden, or he was from Newark or somewhere like that. But he was close to where I was from. So I really kind of got a good vibe out of him. And, you know, Blue Blood was like East Coast too. So, you know, I just felt like them guys was like my brothers. And Curtis Anderson just was like, every time you would hear him on any channel, it was like you just stayed on that channel just to see what he had to say. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how important he was.
It didn't matter if you rocked with that channel, if you couldn't stand that channel. if you would never sub to that channel, if Kurtis was on that channel, you'd stay and listen to the fucking thing, right?
Exactly. Similar to your channel. I like listening to your channel. I don't comment all the time, but I listen. Trust me, I'll be listening. And and it's like I just had to pay homage to him. When this fight came up, I put him in like a few of my videos because this is Terrence Crawford. This was like his baby right here. So I just had to put like in all of my videos, but especially in these last 6-7 days, I just had to put him in there as like, shout out to Curtis Anderson boxing knowledge, rest in peace. Because he enjoyed this fight. I would put him up in big letters and everything. So when I seen you talk about you was going to do a dedication about it, that just kind of made me more happier. Like, okay, the fight is coming up. Bruce is going to talk about Curtis Anderson because we got to keep his memory alive. You know what I'm saying? Like Moni Brown TV said, we might not all get along, but it's like we knew who were the people that were there from the beginning in like 2016, 17 when this YouTube thing started popping off. As far as the community goes, is boxing fans. At least that's what I remember because I stopped watching for like 5 or 6 years until I found boxing back again. I kind of fell in love with boxing back again, like in 2016. So it was just a blessing to have good people that would who would kind of familiarize you again with the sport from when you grew up. Like I grew up in the wild world of sports. So I kind of just remember the mornings waking up and boxing to be on like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, back then on regular TV, So that's what Curtis Anderson reminds me of when every time I talk to him. It's like a breath of fresh air of what I was already familiar with, but just forgot about it.
Yeah, you mentioned his name in a chat the other day. I can't remember whose chat it was.
Yeah.
I think it might have even been Troy Graham's chat. He had, because he's been doing some pretty cool stuff over there. I got to give him a lot of credit, man.
For sure. I think it was Troy Graham's chat. Yeah.
And you mentioned his name, and I said, you just gave me an idea, and I haven't stopped thinking about it since then. And hey, man, my friend Teddy Bruschi's over here, bro. What's happening, big dog? Welcome to the fucking Bruce Gas Boxing Jazz and More.
First time I've been on anything like this before. I'm a computer dinosaur. I didn't even know what I was doing.
Man, when I first saw this, I said, no. Dude, I can tell you, I can put a camera in your living room. I can put a soundboard. Blah, 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 blah. I said, no. I need a fucking guy to press the buttons when I walk in an elevator, man. That's how but man,
I feel you, man.
Hey, man, Teddy, I had no idea what you look like. I see the big bear behind that crazy man that does the typing out here, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to be in the show, on the show.
Where you from, brother?
I'm in Canada right now.
Ontario? This is my mind. I see Ontario when it came in there. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, Toronto, Steeltown, Hamilton. Yeah, it's like the steel city it's like Pittsburgh in Canada.
Okay, because you mentioned Hamilton. A lot of those are old steel towns from Ohio. That's where my wife is from.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Hey, bro. So hey, you ever heard Curtis Anderson before, brother?
No, I'm getting my education right now. To be honest with you, I ain't going front.
I'll tell you. Do yourself a favor and just Google Curtis Anderson. And there's so many things he came on. Hey, man, I got Curtis Anderson's son in here.
Okay.
Kurt Jr.
Up,
Kurt, I'm gonna put the link in the chat if you want to come on here. All you have to do is click it. It's pretty easy to follow. And just I think I got it in there. Is it? Yes. Google. StreamYard's
I'm definitely gonna Google him on my other phone.
Nah, see, Google's got this thing. I'm trying to put the link in the chat, but I got it pinned on top there, so you should be able to find the. You should be able to click the. I'm putting it in the regular chat now, but shout out, man. This is Curtis Anderson's son is out here, and we can. First of all, we appreciate so much for what your father meant to us. and it's truly an honor, bro. I talked to him on the phone last night. I didn't want to say anything, so I didn't know if he'd be making it here. But man, this was Kurtis talked about his son a lot, and it's an honor. I hope I see him coming backstage, because we'll get him on here, and he can tell us a little bit about what YouTube meant to his father, what we meant to him. Maybe he's got some memories to share. I think he's back. No, I got GTS back here. GTS brother, salute. You come in here. You don't even give me a shout out in the chat room. I don't get the like credit. I don't get the watch credit. Man. You jump right in the chat. I appreciate you coming in here, bro. But at least go into YouTube and give a shout out to the memory of the great Kurtis Anderson. His son is coming up here, man. And Smoke, you've had a lot of interactions with Kurtis, haven't you, brother?
Yes, sir. I remember he was daily on World Breaker Fighting with Mark McGregor, and man, we chop it up. That was, I want to say, the summer 2018, all the way through to the summer 2019. Man, this guy, but not just boxing, right? He's really big, avid wrestling fan. Like the WWE, WWF, AWA, all that stuff, man. He knew all these different wrestlers, and I just popped on because Kurt Sugar was like really one of my he's like really one of the best. He's like irreplaceable in the YTBC. Him and Scrapbook Boxing together, like on Stormy B-Man's, that was like some great stuff, like rehashing great fights and legendary fights. But the two of those guys together, because they loved the sport, they went back, they went so in depth and in detail about it. They were just they were the brightest lights before the pandemic. And I don't know, they just haven't been replaced. I don't think they can be replaced, really. Like that guy, Kurt, was like, he would tell stories about getting into fights with his wife, broke up with a girlfriend because she wanted to go out on fight night.
Yep. You're talking about wrestling. Hey, man, this is an honor, man. This is something I don't think it's ever happened on YouTube, man. This is Kurtis Anderson Jr. coming up here to say
can
hello.
Y'all hear me? Y'all can be good?
Yes, we can.
I mean, how y'all doing?
We're great.
What's good, man?
Brick City.
Hey, brother.
Trying to get everything set up.
Tell us a little bit about your dad, man, from what we don't know.
I mean, well, everywhere he went, he was really like a gentle giant that everybody says. That was the biggest thing about him. But he loved boxing. He loved all sports. But he tried to force boxing on me. Even though I didn't like it as much. He was a big boxing historian. I'm pretty sure y'all know him for that.
Yes, sir.
He was loud everywhere he went. He's been on the show with y'all before?
Oh
yeah. I shared a bunch of panels with him.
Yeah. I was on a panel with him with professional wrestling. Get This Smoke was just talking about wrestling. He knew the NWA, the AWA, the WWF. Oh, bro. I mean, this is like my long lost brother from another mother. And everything I talked about, and the music, man, he knew it. He knew everything from jazz to hip hop.
Oh yeah, the music is also
He knew Hank Williams, for Christ's sakes. I mean, this dude knew everything about me. I mean, it was
everything. Like we used to be talking about boxes. I used to bring up like Floyd Mayweather, more recent boxes, and he'll be telling me about people I never even heard of before. He'd be like, who this is? I'd be like, I just heard of him until now. So
That's Kurtis Anderson. Like I liked it when he talked about the jazz and everything and the music, like back in the day. Because I'm from Atlantic City. Yeah. I'm close to where you from, Kurt Jr. Like Atlantic City, and we had like Gardens Basin, and he would tell me about like Gardens Basin and the Inlet and like all of the Motown stars. He was an advocate on boxing and music, I thought, and he was very talkable. You could talk to Kurt like easy about anything. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
good dude.
I don't know if y'all know for his big love of house music. Man, house music, like that was his number one thing. If y'all was like actually around him in person, house music was 24/7 for him.
He talked about that all the time. He talked about going to New York City in his Corvette with his black leather jacket on, bro.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you for bringing me on.
Oh, and food too, bro. He loved his food. He went to gourmet restaurants, Ruth Chris Steakhouse. He talked
Oh
about
yeah, always.
$75 filet mignon. He just every bite of that sucker. I mean, he knew he knew how to live the fine life, bro. He lived life to the fullest. We're so sorry that he's gone.
Well,
He lived
Yeah,
the
it was a
full
shock.
life, man.
It was a
touched-
shock to the whole community. Kurt Anderson Jr. You know,
What
this
happened?
recent.
I didn't get to hear you. One more time.
Go ahead, OG Bruce.
No, bro. I'm just saying how many lives he's touched on here, and he brought so many people together, and like I said, it wasn't just boxing. It was the professional wrestling, the music, the gourmet food, the cars. He knew custom cars. I mean, it was just he was just such an easy guy to talk to, and you know we miss him so much on here, and we like to get together and just have a meeting and just try to keep his spirit alive. And people like my brother Teddy up there who haven't heard of him, they're going to go Google him now, and they're gonna see what a great man he was and what a great teacher he was. And bro, having you on here is a cool thing, brother. Kurtis Anderson Jr., man. Shout out to you, my man. You come from some good stock, my brother.
I appreciate that. He used to talk about y'all all the time. He, every time we got on the phone, he'll be telling me about all the boxing communities that he was in. He'll tell me to join his shows. I don't think I ever, saw me on the show before, but I'll join the shows here and there. Talk to him in the comments and stuff like that. But he always talked about y'all for sure. Y'all were really family time.
Yeah, and like I was telling OG, like when he first started out, like coming back to the community, it was like one big channel, and now that's probably like the biggest channel on YouTube. But that's how revered he was. He could go to any channel, and people would just kind of stop what they doing just to listen to him go back in the past and bring up fights that we had no idea about. He just kind of mesmerized crowds. Like I'm pretty sure, like he mesmerized y'all in y'all life. But that's how he was in the boxing community. He was very well revered, man. That's what I wanted to say. It's like a reincarnation seeing you on here. So to me, that's a blessing because we just watched the fight that he wanted to watch, and that was the Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence fight.
Y'all
we all
wouldn't believe, man. When he was watching boxing, it'll be I think 2 fights going on at once. He'll be flipping channels back to back, tuning into different fights at one time.
Oh yeah. He mentioned his uncle Raphael a lot, and his dad. He said they were real hardcore boxing fans, and man, they were like, I mean, dude, you can't get any more hardcore than the family he comes from. He would tell us when they would take him to closed circuit fights in New Jersey, and everybody was fucking strapped, and I mean it was tension in the air. I mean we're reliving these fights that happened back in the '80s in our heads through your dad. He was such a cool guy, man, and oh bro. Shout out to you for coming on here and keeping that memory alive and letting you know there's another generation of Kurtis Andersons out there, bro.
Yes, that's a blessing because it's funny because we all try to pay homage to him as much as we can, even though the community's gotten way bigger. But it's like when Bruce decided to do this, it's kind of a blessing to see that his family, his lineage lives on. Like just like in boxing, his lineage lives on in the community, and that's you, man.
One thing. Even though me and him, never saw eye to eye on this specific sport of boxing, because I'm more into football, and I had just, not necessarily watching boxing, but I started, boxing myself a little bit, and it's just like now I just started. I felt like it was for a reason, and now he can't, really see that. Because he would have loved to see me boxing. Y'all would have heard about it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh man. You kidding me? You would have been on every YouTube show he goes on, man. Are you shitting me? Kurtis Anderson.
You would have got the most coverage. You would have got the most coverage.
Hey Bruce, I could send it to your phone. I got me boxing. I got a few boxing videos of me. I can send it to your phone and show you. But yeah, he would have most definitely been telling you about it.
That's what's up, yo. That'd be a good tribute too.
Kurtis,
Trevor, your pops that way, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, all that memory. I don't know what kind of memorabilia he has left or like legendary fights, but yeah, he's probably hold on to those things. They do appreciate over time.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate that.
You know, hey Curtis, tell us a little bit about yourself. What are you doing with yourself, my brother?
I'm not too sure if y'all know. I actually have a little girl. She'll be 1 in October.
All right.
You know, I just been enjoying fatherhood. Honestly, I'm about to go to the army in a few months. So that's kind of been the plan right now. I just graduated too.
Wow, bro. I mean, you got your whole life in front of you. Wow. You know, and you can learn boxing in the service, man. They have some great boxing teams. I'm sure your father would tell you some Olympic gold medalists came out of the service teams. I mean, Ray Mercer. Oh man, you know the list goes on and on. Gold medalists.
Yeah, the Leon, the Sphinx, Leon came out of service.
Yes. I mean, we can get right into it, and so well, what else do you do? You have a daughter now, a son. You said
I have a daughter.
A daughter. So Curtis would have been a grandfather, man. Wow.
And you want to know one of the craziest things? The day I found out that I didn't know what I was going to have at first, but the day I found out that I was going to be a father, he actually passed the next day. So that was like one of the craziest things that happened, because it's just like it still carries with me that he never knew that he had a grandchild. So I really, he one of the most, how would I say it? The most heaviest piece of advice that he always told me was like, you'll never know what it's like to be a father until you don't have your own kid, because that love I have for you, just wait until you have your own and you're going to see. And I really do see now.
Real talk. That's the realest talk right there.
Yes, sir.
Heavy stuff, bro. Heavy stuff, man. And he was a man. He was such a man of faith. He's watching right now. He's been watching since day one. He probably kisses that grandbaby every night.
That's why I got him right here in the picture of the chain. I say everywhere I go, I got him. He with me always.
Well, awesome, brother. Awesome, man.
Always.
And this makes a lot. This is going to make a lot of people who watch this a lot stronger too, and have a lot more faith in mankind. Because Curtis, he left us, but the legacy lives on, brother. Everybody talks about him. They talk about him as much as they talk about anybody on YouTube, always in a positive way. And having you come on here, it almost solidifies the whole thing. It makes it legit, bro. It really does. It makes it legit.
Yeah, that guy was all love, always. I literally didn't have an unkind word to say about anyone. It was actually really refreshing, especially in a backbiting, toxic environment like YouTube and boxing community and all that stuff. That guy was he was a beacon.
Truly, man, truly.
You know, Bruce, like I told you before, he had a lot of friends, because he really knew everybody. But what shocked me most is, more of his family from the boxing community really reached out to me more than, actual people that he used to be around. And I try not to look at it in a negative way, but it really shows who's there when you're not there no more. So like I said, I really do appreciate you checking in. I appreciate you having me on the show. The legacy will continue to live on.
Oh, definitely, man. When Trick Nolte told me that he reached out to you, Anthony Carter, Trick Nolte.
Yeah, Anthony.
He told me he reached out to you and gave me your number, and I called you, and I just said, man, I got to let people know that Curtis Anderson has a beautiful young son out there, and now he's got a grandson and shit, man. We're so fucking proud to have you on.
Granddaughter.
Yeah, strong.
The legacy of Curtis Anderson lives on, bro. That's a good thing. That's a great thing. That's a spiritual thing. You know what I mean? Because he was definitely revered and loved in the boxing community. We learned a lot from him. He kept us interested. And the brother just won't never be forgotten, man. And that's just real talk. Like, we mention him all of the times in certain situations when we talking boxing.
Kurt Sugar.
Yep, facts, yo.
He was a big man. He was a big man of God. He was a big believer. Big believer of God.
He mentioned that, but he didn't push it on people. Some people You know, they carry that cross on their shoulder. He kept that in his heart, and he would let us know. He'd let us know what was up, but that was his belief.
That was just at least a few things about him. You know, sports. If you really talk to him, he could really tell you, or damn near school you or anything with sports. Like I said, we used to be talking about it 24/7, and the conversation would go left because I'm like, I don't know who that is. But I never heard of this man before. So I remember like what 12, 13 years old. He was trying to tell me about Sugar Ray Robinson. I'm like, I don't know who none of these people were.
Yeah, trying to raise a kid in the digital society on a Ring magazine, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to do that. Whole different generations. But he bridged those generations, and it was an amazing thing. And you're saying now you're taking interest up in boxing, and and you're here, and oh man, it's just because I had no clue what I was going to see over here. I didn't know if you were doing well. I didn't know, man. I was just reaching like everybody on here. We're kind of nameless, faceless icons until we see a face up here. But man, once again, I just want to say good to see you, brother. I don't want to hang you up too long, man. It was an honor having you in here, man. And bro, how about some quick Curtis Anderson stories? A couple of quick ones that we never heard before.
Couple of quick stories.
Yeah.
It really depends on what you want to hear because it's really so many. Honestly, it's so many. Actually, right. I'm gonna tell you.
I know.
Not to make it too sad enough. I'm gonna tell you actually like one of the last times that we talked. One of the last. So as we were talking, this is right before everything was going on. He was talking to me like, son, I love you, and it's gonna be a lot of people here for you, regardless if I'm not. And I know I forgot how we started talking about it. I think I asked him what was he watching. I think he was telling me about sports, but he was like also another thing. My boxing family, they were there for me. I don't know if y'all know Blue Bloods. I'm sorry. It was something blue something community. It was another boxing community, and he was telling me
Blue Blood Sports TV.
Yeah, Blue Blood Sports.
Oh Lord.
He was telling me about.
Well, no, that was Curtis Anderson's buddy, though. No, he right.
Yeah, that was his co-host.
That was his buddy, yo.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Okay.
He was telling me if I'm not there, they will be. He was just telling me so many of y'all names. I'm sorry if I can't, go down the list of everybody.
It's all good. We know.
He was telling me I was going to be there.
We know, bro. And now that you can get in touch with me. You can get in touch with any of us on here, man, through YouTube. Just coming on here and dropping your name out there.
I want to see those boxing sparring videos. That's what I want to see. I want to see if you're good or not. That's what I want to see.
I'll get those uploaded in a couple of days, man.
Bruce Gas, you got to get on that, man. Keep that legacy alive, man. That's real right there.
Absolutely. Whenever you're willing to have me on, I'll pop in.
I appreciate that, my brother. Hey, man, God bless you and your family.
Man, thank you. I appreciate that. Same to you. But yeah, that's just, it's not really much of a story, but that's something that kind of means something to me because at first when he told me, it was just like, yeah, but now seeing that y'all actually here, checking in, it really sits with me now. So I just got to know that he really didn't just look at y'all as, some people he talked to on the phone or through a screen. Y'all were really family time.
Yeah, man. That dude, he would talk to us. And that's the thing. You could be anywhere. It don't matter if you got beef with those channels or not. Yeah. Curtis Anderson is a one-on-one type of person. And he was no job when it come to boxing. If you was a boxing head, you're going to just listen and get over all of that shit. Like, he just was in the story, man. He was real.
That's a fact.
That makes sense.
Yeah, man. Me personally, I just want to say my name is Marky Dan. I met Kurt. I met Kurt watching Blue Blood show. And he really inspired me to research more into boxing. Now I consider myself like a little resident historian.
Yeah.
In honor of Kurt, you know what I'm saying? It was always just cool just being able to sit back and listen to him, spiel or talk about all the old great champions of the past, bro. I'm always gonna miss that dude.
I appreciate that, man.
Mark it down. You show it every Monday too, man. When you and my brother Q the God show those classic fights, man. Every Monday, and you can hear that. You can feel the influence of Kurtis while you're commentating on those fights, bro.
Yeah, man. Kurt, it's nothing you could bring. Like, I used to always try to come on Blues Panel to surprise Kurt. I'll be bringing different names from like the 1900s to see if I can get over on Kurt. This man knew every champion from back then. He knew about every important fight. I mean, it was really amazing. He could tell you in detail about fights that weren't filmed. Man, Kurt, his knowledge, it's been lost, but it's not been lost in a sense because it's with all of us. We got to sit back and hear his stories, and yeah, that's what's important.
I appreciate that. He used to do the same with me. I really, I believe he was a boxing historian because, like I said, he was telling me people I've never heard of until he told me the time he was telling me. But when I actually was on the show just listening to him, and when I looked up the times that these dudes were fighting, I'm just like, I never knew he knew this much about stuff. Like, these are dudes that he was talking about before he was even born himself. So I'm just like, he's the historian for real. So
yeah. He would talk about Jersey Walcott. One of the guys he would talk about, Bruce Gas.
Yeah.
He would talk about Jersey Walcott. Man, he bought names. He would tell you about how the lineage was back then, the black murderers role. Like Kurt was just like a television of stories, man. You felt like
fighter that Kurt talked to me about was that he told me about was Barbados Joe Walcott, and he was telling us about a 5'1" welterweight that can knock out heavyweights.
Exactly.
And I'm just saying, bro, there's no way that shit was really happening back then.
Sheesh,
man, Kurt always had it.
Kurt had it down pat. You need a whole scoop on the fight.
Bro, they used to have
I seen some shit like that in real life.
They had this trivia contest in New York that he used to go to every year, and it was big. I mean, this was like Burt. In fact, Burt Randolph Sugar himself gave him the nickname there. After the second year, they told him, "Nope, you can't come in it anymore," because he would just make these things off in his head. Even like he'd be doing it. The trivia would be at home on the phone, but then the winners would all come in and they'd do it in front of people, and they were accusing him of having encyclopedias there, having people stuff for him. Oh, yeah, and he told me, they said, you can be a judge, you can come and see it, but you can't come out, you can't be a contestant anymore.
Yeah, that's not fair.
No contest. When you come in this trivia contest, nobody has a chance. And that's the truth. That's the way it was with Curtis Anderson, bro.
Boxing Jeopardy.
Man. That's like Muhammad Ali versus Rocky Fielding. That shit just ain't fair. You can't put Kurt in there.
Stephen Hopkins of boxing.
Y'all used to call him an historian, but I used to call him Curtis Anderson boxing knowledge. That was my thing.
Hang on one second. Let me shout out the people that came in here, man. I want to give them a shout out because I know when I go to chat rooms and they don't shout me out, I say, fuck you, I'm not even going to give you a thumbs up. My brother, Noble Content was out there. Polo Sir's out there. I got Jeff Lucietta, my brother. Thank you for coming by, man. Tupac 13, my man. William Old School on that. And these are all cats who knew your dad, man. These are guys who are here because they know we're going to talk about him. And the Outlaw Pugilist, man. Thank you so much, my brother from down under. And Con Shawnery, man. Con Shawnery is another one who listened to Curtis, man. He caught the last year or so of Curtis, and touched on a lot of people. And I want to shout them out and thank you for coming in here, man. I got Curtis Anderson Jr. in here, the heir apparent, the next legacy. This is just to let him know how much we appreciated his dad. And I also got Marky Don in here. I got my brother Teddy Bruschi in here. I got Modern King Boxing, man. Captain Smoke was here, but he dipped out and.
Yeah.
Anybody else here? I can't even. I'm so fucking stoned. I can't even remember.
It's Brook Shot.
No,
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm going to follow like a full, separate career of boxing, but I'm getting into it though.
Yo, do me a favor. I get what you're saying. So if you throw him the film, at least we can like critique what you're doing at the gym, man. That's my thing. Like, because all of the prospects start off at the in the boxing communities. Because like that's the thing, man. Do you, man? If it works for you, it's discipline with you. Like you say, you have a daughter you about to raise. Hey, man, do it, man. You know what I mean? Do it, yo.
Yeah, I'm gonna most definitely send it to Bruce. I wasn't sparring. I was sparring with my coach, and we was doing I think body shots only because this was like my first time boxing. Like actually sparring. Because we was
That's
doing
beautiful. That's beautiful.
before, but yeah. So
that is beautiful, man. Because that just shows the beginning of your journey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you could document your journey, and that's how you think Ryan Garcia got put on, man.
Yeah, we didn't have that growing up. We didn't have to being able to document it. No, we couldn't document it.
From your
but if
first
you like something, yeah.
To you in the
but if
first
you like
amateur
something,
fight?
you get good at it. You're gonna keep doing it. Like I was a track in high school. I loved track, and then the day I lost, the next day, only reason I lost because I had on like no track shoes indoors, so I slipped around the fucking track inside. But like once you lose and you want to get competitive, you're gonna want to win. So once you want to win, that's when you get the bug. That's when you get the bug, and that's when you start shining.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking the whole time. Because the first time, it was like an okay sparring session. So it was just I had that feeling like I'm not gonna let him I'm not gonna let him touch me.
Yeah.
Even though we sparring, I wanna win. So I'm like, it was something I most definitely keep doing, but he was telling me it's a dangerous sport if I ever get into it, but he would be there, to coach me through it. He'll be there to support me through it if I ever chose to, take on that path. But he's not here to see it. But
yeah, you key in the house.
Yo, I'm from Jersey, yo. You got the mindset for it. If you're from Jersey, you definitely got the mindset to box because the bricks is real in Jersey.
Yeah.
That's the concrete jungle, real talk.
Shout out to Manchester, England over here, UK, man. We got the Outlaw Pugilist, great channel. In fact, everybody in there has cool YouTube channels, man. This is what keeps us all together. So make sure you go out there and sub to all these cats in here. They all do the same. We keep it real. And shit, man.
Baked beans and toast. That's what's up.
That's it, bro. Just keeping the spirit of our brother Kurtis Anderson alive, man. And it's great to hear that Monty Brown came in here. I've seen him many times on Monty Brown's show, and man, it's good that we have this technology that we can do this.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, and like I said earlier, bro. He used to like other sports too. The first time I was on YouTube, I was on Lawrence Williams' channel, L-Dub, and we did professional wrestling. I think LeVar Cooper was on there with us, and he talked about he went to the Scope in Virginia. He saw professional wrestling there. When he went, he had to go spend summers with his cousins down there, and they had different wrestling than up here. So he got into the AEW,
Damn.
federations. I mean, the dude, it was amazing. It was incredible stuff. The dude just was such an awesome mind with the different things that I like, man. Because I like boxing, jazz, professional wrestling, health and nutrition, and fine weed. You know anything of the fine weed? We never got to talk about the fine weed, but hey, man, it's been such a great ride, man. I'm glad we had Kurtis Anderson Jr. on here with us, man. This was something. And man, people out there.
It was nice meeting you, Kurt Anderson Jr. And peace out, Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. And my buddy right there, Buckshot. Nice meeting you. I'm gonna run, but this has been awesome, and I'm gonna definitely be checking to see if they drop that film. I want to see the boxing footage. That's what I want to see. And I'm out. Peace,
Brother King.
I got you, man.
Rest in peace to Curtis Anderson, man. One.
All right, peace.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right, man. Teddy, you want to say some goodbye words while I close this show up?
Well, I'd like to say bye to Kurt Jr. You know what I'm saying? You're a humble man, and I want to see that journey start, man. We're gonna support you, man. And we're watching out for your videos, man. Got
Hey,
you
I
there.
appreciate you coming on here, bro. First time on YouTube. We got to give Teddy a hand on that too. All right, brother. Hey, man. God bless you, brother. We'll see you around.
All right, my brother. Have a good night.
Peace. All right, man. And Kurtis, bro, same to you, brother. An honor having you on here. Now that you got my number, man, please keep in touch, brother. Let me know
I
how
got
life
you.
goes on, man. And hey, God bless you, brother. Thank you for coming on here.
I appreciate you for bringing me on, having me on. I got you with the footage also.
Looking forward to it, bro. Peace.
Peace out.
Man, how cool was that? That's Let me get my boys. Tell them the break is over. Get him back on the. Get that music going in the background here, man. I shut it off while we had the. Out of respect for my friend Kurtis Anderson Jr. It was a great panel, man. I thank everybody that came on here. We got to talk to the son of Kurt Anderson, man. Kurt Anderson Jr. Monty Brown stopped up here. Teddy came up here, man. Get This Smoke stepped up here, man. Mr. Ron Finkley. Who was the other one up here, man? Marky Don was here, man. All great cats, man. Great stuff, man. Thank you guys for coming up here, man. I love this jazz, man. I gotta get to Harlem, and I've got to get to Small's Jazz Club. It's a classic jazz tune right here, man. But I can't leave it with that. I gotta leave it with my theme song. Let those guys take a break. We're gonna say good night to you.
Shout out Bruce Gas, aka Toka.
Take you out with my man.
You know I had to drop
150 Big Say
boy.
So.
Where you at?
Yeah, been here harassing boys out here telling favors. I'm the hardest young nigga, I ain't signed to no label. Hey, Bruce Gas putting them fights on the table. Calling that boxing since Kane versus Abel. Smoking so much gas, you would think that shit was fatal. I'm the people's champion like Muhammad Ali. Shout out Bruce Gas, one day we gon' meet. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, we gon' smoke hella weed. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, take a hit out the Toka too. Slipping hella shots, feel like Tyson with the people. Little Glock by my side, but it hit just like Isaac Cruz. Shout out man, Chad, real shit, that's my fucking dude. We always cooking on the pan. Strapped to my side, I ain't talking about no sand. Bruce passed me the blunt, I'ma light it like a candle. Ayy, non-stop bars, man, I always spit flames. Feel like Bruce Gas always got a different strain. Bitch, you ain't like me, you can never feel my pain. You win and you lose, well, this the fight game. Don't beef on the net and the shit won't change. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the game. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the chat. I ain't undisputed. Yeah, hold on, I ain't undisputed, but I want all the straps.